What is up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia, and welcome to another week of Tester Tuesday, a spot where I get Scentsy reviews out to you based on your votes from the previous week. The top 3 scents this week are being discussed. One is Scent of the Month for September, and the other 2 are new releases in the Fall and Winter Scentsy catalog. So let's get started. All right, let's talk about our first place scent for the week. It is Spooky But Sweet. This one had 22% of the vote, so a very tight race this week. Orange colored wax, and I would say this is medium plus on cold sniff intensity. In fact, I did not do a first sniffs video, but I could smell this when my director handed it to me. I could smell it without even opening the box, so it was fairly strong. Scentsy has put this as a scent of the month in the bakery section. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, a pinch of nutmeg mingles with shadowy swirls of smoked maple syrup and caramelized vanilla sugar. I think that's a really good scent description. This scent is one that kind of changes as it goes, but then it kind of settles into its main scent for the majority of the melting. So early on, I put it in really early in the morning, and early on, I got that caramelized vanilla sugar. It was very sweet. It was very bakery. It was very caramel. I really enjoyed it at that stage. At around the noon hour, it started to morph into a smoky version. So I was definitely getting that smoked component. I don't know if I would say it was smoked maple because I had it warming in my big area. In the boys' room, it smelled a little bit better than in the big area with the smokiness. But it settled into that for quite a while. And probably around the supper hour, I have a note here that there was a background of the Friends bar. So something about it was reminding me a little bit of the Friends bar. Now, quite later in the warming, that's when I finally detected the obvious maple. It was more like a maple sugar to me, and it was in the boys' room. I didn't really pick up the maple obvious in my main area, but in the boys' room, it was less ooey gooey than a maple syrup. So I say in my brain, it was more of a maple sugar. Let's talk about my family rating, because this would be a good time. Now, I'm just going to say, with regards to my husband, all the scents I got him to smell this week, he said they're all just okay. They're just not ones that float my boat. That's exactly what he said. But for Spooky But Sweet, the family ratings were 7 out of 10. My daughter said 0 out of 10. She said, ooh, twice, and said, that is only spooky. And Ryan gave it a 9 out of 10. So Erica really did not like this. Not at all. So let's talk about performance, because I knew from getting them to smell this that it wasn't something I would put in Erica's room, but Ryan really enjoyed it, so I thought I'll put it in the boys' room and I'll put it in my open area. So in my open area, it was between 7.5 and 8 at its max. I left it going 2 days. The second day was about half intensity. In the boys' room, I would say scent throw was about 8 out of 10 at its max in terms of intensity. And there I left it going 3 days, 3 full days, uninterrupted. I found it was a bit of a lingerer. I think you have to be someone that likes smoky scents to like this one. And I think you also have to like sweet scents. So speaking of, if you're someone that likes gimme candy, but you find that one way too sweet, then this might be a little bit less sweet for you. If you like Scary Good, but you find that one a little bit too spicy, then this would be the way to go, because less spices, no cinnamon that I can detect. Where would you warm something like this? I think you could warm it in an open area, no problem. If you warm it in a medium-sized space, you might be able to pick up the notes better, and it will last longer. It will linger a little bit more. It might be a little bit too strong for any small area space. So, will I be repurchasing this one? I think in total I have 5 bars. I'm down to 1 left, and I think that is fine. I have this 1 cube, and I did use some as well for customer samples. I think that is plenty for me. If I was someone that didn't have a lot of wax, I might purchase 1 more, but it wasn't an overall standout. If it was the way it was at the beginning, I would have liked it a lot more. But overall, this one is a smoky, earthy bakery, and I just prefer less smoke and less earthy. So that is Spooky But Sweet. All right, let's talk about our second place scent for the week. It is Cherry Chestnut. This one had 21% of the vote. It's this maroon colored wax. It's a light scent on cold sniff intensity, and Scentsy has put this in the bakery category. Let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, warm black cherry, topped with roasted chestnuts and whipped vanilla, is a sweet and savory delight. Okay, first off, I don't really find the cherry as medicinal, so if you're worried about that, I don't get that. Secondly, cherries are usually strong. I don't find this as strong at all. I think what's happening is the chestnuts and the whipped vanilla are bringing the intensity of the cherry down so much that you can barely smell it. The chestnuts give an earthiness, kind of like a warmth and a depth, okay? So let's talk about the warming, because that's kind of what I need to go to. Let's talk about family rating first, okay? So I liked this one on Cold Sniff, but I was worried about its lightness. So my family said, my husband says 7 out of 10. He likes it, but he can't really smell it very well. My daughter said 7 out of 10, and Ryan said 9.5 out of 10. He liked it so much, he wished he could eat this one. So try to remember that. For me, I would say Cold Sniff was probably a cautious 7 out of 10. And on warming, I just found it was a really quick, it wore off very fast. So let's talk about what happened. And then I'll talk about what I smelled from it. So I warmed it here in my bedroom, and I warmed it in Erica's room. 4 cubes here between my bedroom and bathroom, and 3 cubes in Erica's room. She has 2 warmers. All right, so both spots, I would say starting out for the first 2 or 3 hours, it was about 5 out of 10. So not overly strong, but I could smell it. It was really nice. It was pleasant. I was thinking, what's the big deal? I can smell this. And then after about 3 hours, I felt like I couldn't smell barely anything. But what I could smell was 2 different things kind of in, I would pick up one and then I would pick up something else. It was something that my brain reminded me of. I think it reminded me of the background note from Cranberry Muffin, which I found really hard to describe. It wasn't something I really liked. But even more so, it reminds me of the background waxy undertone that you get from some vendor wax companies. I remember years ago I had a really old sampler from a certain Canadian vendor, and I left it too long and the wax bags were getting all greasy and weird smelling, and that's kind of what this smelled like after a while. So yeah, I left it going a day in each spot, and then I said, I'm taking this out, because to me it was a waste of time trying to get more out of it. Now, if you're someone that likes really light bakery scents, a background, slightly sweet, slightly earthy bakery, and you don't mind if you just get a little window of a scent and then it's kind of this weird undertone, then you might want to give this one a try. Where do I think this would be best? I would think small rooms with a tea light perhaps, which Scentsy doesn't recommend the use of, or keep it on the Scentsy shelves. And maybe if you're really interested in trying it again, you could pick it up and let it cure on your shelves for a while and then give it a try. For me personally, I describe this as a WOT, which I'd say waste of time, which is not very nice. It's a little on the harsh side. And a WOM, which is a waste of money. Not very nice of me to say, but I'm just trying to be honest. So will I be repurchasing another one? I don't think so. Do I suggest you pick it up and try it? I don't know. I would say no. That's cherry chestnut. All right, let's talk about our third place scent for the week. It is Pistachio Woods. This one had 20% of the vote. It's this pretty sage green colored wax. I would say it's between medium and medium light on Cold Sniff intensity, and it is a new release in the new fall winter catalog as a woods category scent. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, delicate pistachio and buttery almond on a bed of cedarwood. All right, when I warmed this, it kind of reminded me of a little bit of Scentsy's pistachio ice cream, that creamy pistachio, mixed with a very subdued vendor wax pistachio. So vendor wax pistachio is very different than Scentsy's pistachio. Vendor wax pistachio has a cherry undertone. It is very strong. It's almost too hard for me to handle. So picture that really creamed out. I do get the slightest bit of cherry undertone with this. And I have a feeling my husband did as well, because he said, I really like the scent that you have going in our room right now. I feel like it's got a little bit of fruitiness to it. So there you go. As it warmed, that was early on. As it warmed around the 12-hour mark, I found I could smell what I thought was coconut. It reminded me a lot of a coconut macaroon, but the white ones. I'll put a picture here. It almost, you could smell the toastiness of the coconut. So I picture that toasted white macaroon, not a macaron, a macaroon, sitting on a cedarwood thick piece of wood. So that's what I get. So let's talk about warming, because I did warm it here in my bedroom, like I told you. But I started it out in the kids' bathroom because that's where I had a spot to warm it. It really is not a bathroom scent, so, but I just wanted to see how it was going to perform in a small area and then decide where I was going to warm it. It didn't do the greatest in the kids' bathroom. I would say it was about 6 out of 10. I could smell it fairly well on day 1, but on day 2 I would say it was like 2 or 3 out of 10, so I probably should have removed it. Now here in my bedroom with a bathroom and a bedroom warmer, it seemed to do better in terms of longevity, so I could smell it a lot better on day 2. So on day 1 it was probably 6 to 6.5 at its max, and on day 2 I would say it was about 4 out of 10 at its max. If you're someone that likes creamy pistachio scents, like Scentsy's pistachio ice cream, but you could take it slightly away from the bakery, add a toasty roasty coconut, and add a woodsy cedar wood, gentle creamy component, then this is one that you want to pick up and try. I think if you're going to warm it, I would stick to small to medium spaces for this one. And let's talk about family rating, because I don't want to forget. So family rating for pistachio ice cream, or Pistachio Woods, excuse me, was 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, and 8.5 out of 10. So the family liked it. I was just okay with it. I don't think I need to repurchase anymore. I think this one will be fine. But maybe if it came back in a year or 2, I would maybe pick one up and revisit. But not something I need to pick up any more of this season. That is Pistachio Woods. All right, let's move to the portion of the video where I'm going to draw some scents. If you're new to my channel, you're going to pick 2 different scents by early Wednesday morning and put those down in the YouTube comment section as your votes. If you can't vote on YouTube, find my Instagram post and put your 2 votes there. And I'm going to present 6 scents, and we have 9 in the bin. So what I'm going to do is pause the video, shake them up a little bit, and we're going to pick 6 from this. Now these particular scents have all been rejected just one time, but let's see what we're going to get this week. All right, I've got them all mixed up and I'm not looking down, just to be fair. So set number 1 is going to be gingerbread pecan waffles. Something noisy outside. Set number 2, sparkling spiced citrus from the Harvest collection. Sorry about the noise. Set number 3, Alpine Escape. Set number 4, cinnamon woods from the Harvest. Set number 5, balsam spice. And set number 6, brown butter pumpkin. So lots of orange, greens, and browns this week. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope you have a great day in your neck of the woods. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to vote.